Hey guys, Dan Heilman. We are back with another Dragonheir video. So I was able to meet with the publishers and the developers. I met with the publishers and they gave me the direction of this game from the developers. I'm not sure that the developers speak English, so that was kind of the way this works. They set up a meeting with all the content creators. I'm not really allowed to give specifics for every little thing that's happening in the game or will be happening in the game, but I just want to talk about my sentiment towards the game now. I know I've been a little bit negative in some of my videos recently, but that is because I want this game to succeed. I really love the idea of this game, and I think this game is only going to get better. So, I just think it has such an interesting idea, right? I mean, the seasons, the open world, all of this information is just totally different than a lot of gacha games out there. So I just love the idea of this game being so different. Now there is, of course, a lot of improvements that need to be made to the game. So I just want to kind of go through those. We got some faction wars playing in the background as I talk about it, but I just kind of want to talk about the direction and feedback that I gave them and some of the stuff. I've been kind of negative on some of the things. There's not a lot of content in the game. The game is pretty pay to win currently. The events are lackluster. And I think this is all going to improve over time. So the biggest things that my feedback was for the developers, technically the publishers, for them to give that feedback to the developers is basically obviously the pay to win, the low amount of stamina, and not a lot of rewards in game from events and stuff like that, and the summoning events especially. It feels really bad to spend a lot of money on these events only to get the copy of a hero that you wanted. You don't even get an extra hero. So that was kind of the main feedback that I gave, one of the main feedbacks I gave. And they definitely took a lot of those notes, and they're going to go to the developers and basically try to get some of these changed. Now, another thing that the content creators, myself and Ivy Lee and Scratch and some of these other guys were in this meeting, and a lot of the feedback was also on getting legendaries, right? So it's hard to get legendaries in this game, and I guess their idea is, even free to plays are going to have lots of legendaries after a couple seasons are over, okay? And all the content creators kind of said, it kind of sucks, but in this day and age, people do need a quick, dopamine rush of getting that legendary early, or, doing summons and really getting that dopamine. I mean, summons, it's all about the summons in these gacha games. It's all about the summons. So we kind of gave the feedback. We really want them to add legendary, a chance to get a legendary out of purple dice. We really are pushing that. I'm really hoping that happens. If not, I just said you got to give people a legendary in the first, week of the game. I think that's the biggest thing for player retention. A lot of these games have basically, like a beginner summon where you get to pick a legendary, Dislight, Awakened Chaos Era, they all have those beginner summons and stuff like that. So, you get that initial rush of dopamine when you start the game and you're like, all right, I got my shiny legendary, perfect, and all that. So I do think that's a very big, important game, part of any game here for player retention now. So those are the first two things that I stressed. And then the next one was basically, what was the other really big one? Oh, the amount of content and things to do in the game. So the next probably biggest complaint is when you first start this game, there's like a 2-week-long journey where you unlock content slowly. I kind of told them, guys, this is a seasonal game. So usually when you have a seasonal game, everyone is racing to get to the end game right away. So I said, if you're going to limit content, you got to limit less, right? So it took us 15 days to get to the end of the initial content in the game. Maybe make that 7 days, so it's double the pace, because people do want to play more than an hour, and they are aware that there's not a lot of content. There was a lot of sentiment from the content creators that this is a great side game. If you want this game to be a side game, you're doing great, because people kind of get in the game, they spend max like an hour, hour and a half to complete everything. And then it's kind of off to a new game or log off. Now, if you don't have a lot of time to play games, that's great for you. But a lot of people want to grind and do stuff like that. So I've kind of told the developers slash publishers that, you know, you have this beautiful open world. Give us stuff to do in the open world, right? There's so much. You spend all this time designing this beautiful open world. You get to kill a couple NPCs in a couple zones and then never again. So I kind of threw out some ideas for them. I was like, you know, maybe have those, you know, those enemies in those zones respawn once a day or once a week, or the boss battles, the ones when you talk to NPCs and you can battle them. Maybe give us more of those. But right now, there's kind of no reason to go into the open world, because there's nothing really there for you. Besides the 2 commission quests you get every day, there's not really that much in the open world. So this is kind of a lot of the feedback I gave them. Event banners not having pities and the pity not being shared. This is a beta. There is a lot of work to do in this game to make it top tier. Now, they have recently fixed 2 of the things that I really complained about was the tooltips. They still need some work. But now they show damage multipliers for most of the skills. Some of them still don't have it. There's still things like, you know, this can happen once per period. The period should be defined, right? Because if it's 1 second, it may be really good. But if it's 2 minutes, it's not going to be very good. So, yeah. I've given a lot of feedback for this game. I think this game can be very, very popular and last a long time as long as some things happen. I know a lot of people don't like the seasonal stuff, but I think if the seasonal reset is done well, it actually might be really interesting, because now every month you kind of can go through and see a new aspect of the story. They changed the affinities. So right now, Poison and Frost are together. This is my Poison and Frost team. Maybe next time it'll be Frost and Fire together, for example. So it totally changes team building when it comes to faction wars and affinity bonuses. So I really think the seasonal stuff will be really cool. They just need to make sure that they handle everything and they continuously improve the game. And I think that the seasons actually give them time to do balancing in between seasons and totally come up with new story quests and stuff like that. We have given a lot of feedback, and the publishers have been very responsive, and I felt a lot better after our meeting. There is some stuff possibly coming mid-season that might change you know, how things work, because again, this is a beta and they're tweaking this to make this perfect. When we go to season 1, which is going to be global launch in you know, roughly August, there will be some changes coming, and there'll be a lot more people. I know that the devs are advertising for this game, so multiple people have seen some ads on Facebook and YouTube and other sources, so I know they're advertising. The closed beta test is kind of closing as far as being able to create new characters on different servers, but obviously we'll be able to play for a while now, and I'm really looking forward to global. Now, I was really worried about this game. I have spent a lot of money in the game, so for me, it you know, I just have a lot riding on this game. I just really love this game. I think it's going to be really cool. It just needs some changes here and there. They're going to continuously change over time. I just hope they can give us enough to kind of keep players here, right? Because if they wait too long, then a lot of the player base will already have moved on and kind of have like a bad taste in their mouth about it. So this is one of their very first games, so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. You know, they're trying to tweak this and that, and oops, it's in Chinese. Okay, so stuff like this, right? You know, this is Faction Wars. I'm only able to do a couple levels, and then I'm kind of stuck here, and we got to wait till... Oh, let me try it again. Okay, I don't know, that was weird. So yeah, I have some high hopes for this game. I know I've been negative in a couple of videos, and I wasn't getting a lot of response from the developers slash publishers. And after having this meeting and kind of talking about what is coming soon and kind of giving our feedback to them, I think they definitely hear the feedback. I mean, when you say stuff so bluntly, like, you know, this is a video game and I want to play a video game with my friends, for example. Why are alliances not cross-server and stuff like that? I think they kind of see the logic there and they're like, okay, yeah, you're right. You know, why don't we have this? I know why they tried to do it. They didn't want to do it cross-server because they said they had some problem with coding. Don't know if they can make it happen. I know they can. I mean, plenty of games have it. I think they'll just have to fix some things, but also just because they wanted to kind of keep the power levels together. This is kind of like the fourth major thing is they want to keep everyone together. And I don't think that's the best idea because, you know, if you're spending a lot of money, you don't want to be held back with free-to-play players. You want to be able to explore the content, try hard content. I don't have a lot of hard content. This is the hardest content in the game, and I can kind of just auto through it. So when you're holding me back with everyone else, that's good for free-to-play players that they can, you know, complete all the same content I can, but it kind of also doesn't allow me to explore the game, and I have no reason to rebuild my heroes and try to get better gear, right? I have no reason to do that because right now in PvE, there is really no reason to have better gear. I did, however, just finish like level 9 of basically all the dungeons. So I'm kind of done with the game now, but I know they're going to be adding more content. I'm sure we're getting more content. You can see that there's stuff in place in the game that is locked and starting later. There's this Otherworld exploration that opens in, I don't know, 30 days or whatever. And I think we're going to get some really good loot from that because that's kind of like, I think that might be the end game, right? Because that's coming in a month or whatever the cooldown is. Can I see that somewhere in game? Let's go out of here real quick. All right. So that was the last level of that. There's like Otherworld exploration or something like that. I forget where it even is, but we got a lot of stuff coming soon. Let's see. Is it in here? Yeah, okay. 25 days, we open Otherworld exploration, right? And then you can see, oh, I'm in front of it. Okay, 25 days, you can see Otherworld exploration. Keep an eye on here. So this is all the stuff that's happening, right? So we opened Vortex, and then the difficulty increases in Vortex. The legendary drop rate increased. It says forge material. It's not forge material. It's actually just legendary drop rate increased, so that's a little bit of a mistranslation. But this Otherworld exploration, I'm looking forward to that. We do have a whole nother month to wait. I do have a feeling that they're going to add some stuff before then, I hope. But yeah, so that's kind of my video. My sentiment on this game has changed, and hopefully my attitude in videos will change. I don't like making negative videos. Sometimes I think it's necessary, but I don't enjoy doing it. But okay, so that's my rant on the talk that we had. Again, I'm not allowed to give a lot of details about what's coming inside the game, but I just want to ensure that the community knows that, you know, this isn't one of those pump and dumps where they're totally abandoning the game or anything like that. I know we started with a lot of feedback from them and haven't got so much lately, but I promise they're working to make this game better behind the scenes, and we should see some of those changes. If not in beta, then definitely by the time global launch happens. So, okay, just wanted to talk about my experience and my thoughts on the game, and that's going to be it for the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like and the subscribe button. Have a great day, everyone. See you guys.